'Cause I gotta say.
Have a huge mod that is actually in 3 parts. It's the graphic packs. There's graphic pack 1, graphic pack 2, and the extra graphic pack. Now basically what the mod does is it takes all of the textures in the game and changes it to about 2K to 4K textures. Now I know 4K can't really be seen with the, ordinary power of the original Xbox One, but if you have the Xbox One X, it changes it to 4K and everything will be in 4K for you, and it makes the game look even better. I don't have an Xbox One X myself, so I'm just going with the enhanced graphics from this. And it's still way better. It still looks way better than the original Skyrim. And it's 990 megabyte download, and it combines MRENs, Kados, a whole bunch of different mod creators into this mix. So it's just a combined version of all the graphic overhauls, and it's the biggest one yet. And it definitely changes the most things to the game and makes everything look way better. It even changes the interiors of towns and stuff like that. Adds more trees, adds more, bushes and shrubs and stuff like that to make the game feel more alive. And it also changes the sun rays and stuff like that, and the oceans and the rivers. As you can see, this river here looks amazing. And that's basically my favorite type of mod, something that makes the game look even better. So it's a really awesome mod, and I really recommend downloading it. Have Tenebrae, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Now you're going to have to go through a little bit of Dawnguard for this, and you're going to have to go into the Soul Cairn and then go into the Reaper's Lair. As you can see, I'm showing you where the Reaper's Lair is. It's at the southeastern part of the map. It's very easy to find once you're in the Soul Cairn. And you go inside and you have to fight the Reaper, and yeah, just as you can see, I'm showing you on the map where it is. And once you defeat the Reaper, this sword should drop. Now this sword is the most badass sword I've ever seen in my entire Skyrim playthrough, and anything and any cool mod that I've ever found has never been as good as this weapon mod here, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean in a second. Let me just kill all these guys here, and once you kill the Reaper, the sword should drop right behind you, and it looks like it's actually part of the main quest, but it's actually not. It's just a little mod that they installed to give you this little sword here, and once you click on the sword, it should fall to the ground and you can pick it up, and then we should head back to Skyrim. And as you can see, it looks really badass. The sword is split into 2 parts, and if you do a power attack, you can actually fling a bunch of energy towards your enemies, and you can hit someone from pretty far away. And I'll show you guys exactly how much damage that does in a second, but I just wanted to show you guys exactly what the sword can do. It looks really awesome. I've never seen a sword that looked anything like this before. As you can see, I'm just attacking a few of the Whiterun guards, and it's totally destroying them. They had no chance. It's not an overpowered sword. I was playing on Novice whenever I recorded this, but it is very powerful, but not like too powerful enough that it's overpowered and it'll ruin all the fun. So you can use this in all your playthroughs and stuff like that, and it'll be really awesome. And what I thought was really cool is at nighttime it changes. As you can see, I just flung another power attack at the ground, and it created a vortex instead of the fire which it created during the day. So during the night and day, it's a different type of sword and it's a different type of energy. So that's what makes this mod extremely incredible, and I'd really recommend downloading it. This is going to be a mouthful. It is the JG Weapons 4.0, and now I'm going to show you exactly how it works, because this mod does something that I have never even seen before. So in this mod, there is a really powerful bow that I really want, and I think it is really awesome. It's called the Equity Bow. Now, as you can see, to make it, we need the Unraveler Bow. So let's travel down and see what we need to make the Unraveler Bow. Let's go down here, and where's the Unraveler Bow? There it is. Okay, so that looks pretty nice, but we need a Conqueror Bow to make the Unraveler Bow. So let's go up to the Conqueror Bow. Alright, let's take a look up here. Conqueror Bow. Okay, to make the Conqueror Bow, we need the Legate Bow. So let's go down to the Legate Bow and see what we need. To make the Legate Bow, we need a Catorus Bow. So let's go up to the Catorus Bow. Oh, that looks pretty cool. But we need a Reprisal Bow to make it. Alright, let's go down to the Reprisal Bow. This goes on for a while, so prepare yourself. Okay, the Reprisal Bow looks cool, but we have to make a Bombard Bow to make it. So let's make a Bombard Bow. Okay, to make a Bombard Bow, we need a H.A.S.T.E bow, so let's travel down to the H.A.S.T.E bow. Okay, that looks pretty cool, but we need the Linsteel bow to make it, so let's go up to the Linsteel bow. Oh, cool, but we need the Crinsteel bow to make that, so let's go down to the Crinsteel bow and see what we need to make that. Oh, we need the Expedition bow to make that, so let's go up to the Expedition bow. There we go! 2 leather strips and 2 iron ingots. Boom. and then we can go back and we can make our most powerful bow. I think this mod is incredible because I've never seen anything like that before, where you have to keep creating other weapons to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade and upgrade to get the bow that you want. I think that is really awesome. I've never even heard of that type of technique, and it's definitely super original, and I've never seen anything like it before, because instead of upgrading it at a grindstone or just another crafting table, you can do it in this, which I've never even seen before, and then you can keep making the bow and keep upgrading it as you get more materials. Obviously I was kind of cheating and I had all the materials right off the bat, but if you were playing this and you weren't recording and you really wanted to use this, it would take you a very long time to actually get the materials to make this weapon. So it really pays off in the end once you finally make it, and you'll finally be able to use a super powerful weapon after all your time grinding for these materials and stuff like that, and it'll make it way better whenever you create the bow itself. So as you can see, I finally got all the materials. I go into the Equity bow and I craft it. It's the bow that I want. It looks really awesome. It just reminds me of like the Daedric feel, but it's like way bigger. And this Bloody Rose shield I also wanted to make, so I go down to what we need, which is the Rusted shield. Rusted shield looks exactly the same as the one that I wanted, but it's rusted. See, I think that that's really cool too. You have to like repair it, but first we need to make an Imperial Light shield, so we'll do that. We'll go down to the Rusted shield and we'll craft that, and then we can go all the way back up to the top and make the Bloody Rose shield, which is the one that I really wanted. There you go. So it's a really awesome technique that uses, you have to make a weapon to make another weapon, or to upgrade you have to do this and stuff like that, and it's way more opportunities to upgrade. And now I'm going to show you guys the other swords that it comes with. I didn't have enough materials to actually go through and make all of these swords, so I'll show you what they look like, and they all are pretty much the same. They're all just swords that you could swing, so you can try out this mod for yourself and get any of these that pique your interest, and I will just be going down the list and showing you all of them. I like that Goblin Greatsword. I think that looks pretty cool. Going down to the Dwarven section, we have a lot of really cool looking weapons and swords. Most of these really pique my interest, and I really want to go through and actually try to make all of these and try them out. I think that would be really awesome, especially some of these ones that are like really weird shaped. I really want to see how you hold it and how it swings and just how it works. And here's the Equity bow. We're going to give it a try. We finally made it after a while, and let's see how this bad boy works. Alright, so we definitely destroyed that guy in one hit, and now we're just going to pillage the town and destroy everything. As you can see, we've cleared out the entire town, and it didn't even take me that long, and I barely lost any health, because this bow is really awesome. I was playing on Novice though, so, it was pretty easy, but as you can see, all these people are dead. I've lost barely any health, and, wait a minute, there's one left. Hold on one second. Oh my god. Alright, well, that's the end of this mod, the JG Weapons mod 4.0. It was recommended to me by Godly Hacks on Twitter, so thank you, Godly Hacks, for letting me know that this mod existed. And yeah, it's a really awesome mod, and I'd really recommend downloading it. Coming up next, we have a mod that I've never seen before. It's called the Playable Skeleton Race. Now, whenever I first read this, I thought it was crazy, so I had to try it out. Basically, what you do is you can start a new game, or you can download the Cheat Room mod, and you can go into it, and you can change the Show Race menu, and you can change what your character looks like. And you can actually select to play as a skeleton, which I think is amazing. Even like your hands in first person, as you can see there, change to a skeleton, and it looks really awesome, and it makes your character look even more badass. So if you get some badass armor and just leave your helmet off, you'll look amazing. Your character will look so badass, and the armor still fits exactly the same, just you look like a skeleton now, and it's a really awesome mod and very creative, and I'd recommend downloading it. We have the Autumn Haven mod. Now this is a player home mod that is really small, but it's a really awesome house, and it has a whole bunch just combined into one little area. So that's what I found super awesome about this house. I'm not really into the giant mansion type things. I like the houses that are small and to the point and really nice looking, and you have everything that is possible in one little area. So that's basically what this house is, and it's a really awesome house, and we're going to turn up the music, and we're going to do one of those special little tours that I do in pretty much every single top 5 mod video. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the Autumn Haven house. So as you can see, it's obvious that there was a lot of effort put into this house, and it's a really awesome house mod, and I'd recommend downloading it. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have the Forgotten Spells mod. Now this mod goes way back to Oblivion and brings back some of the spells that were in Oblivion and Morrowind that aren't in Skyrim. Now I'm going to be naming off some of these spells and actually showcasing them, so let's just begin. Now under the Conjuration category, I didn't really show any of them because I feel like Conjuration is pretty much the exact same. You can spawn stuff in and you can reanimate things. That's pretty much all Conjuration is. So you can conjure a Skeleton Guardian, which is a skeleton with an axe and a shield. You can do a Skeleton Hero, which is a skeleton with a great sword and twice as much health. There's a Conjure Skeleton Champion, which is a battle mage skeleton. He has a sword and shoots ice spears, and then there is a Dwarven Sphere that you can summon and it can fight for you as well. Under the Alteration category, we have Feather and Burden, and Feather is basically the spell that saved me all the time in Oblivion whenever I would get too much loot and I'd become over encumbered. Basically what the spell does is when you cast it on yourself, it changes your carrying capacity to, whatever the powerfulness of the spell is. So let's say it gives you 50 more carrying capacity, or it gives you 75 more carrying capacity, and that is the type of thing that I wish really they had in this game, where you could cast a spell on yourself to give yourself more of carrying capacity until you can get to a market and sell your stuff off. Then there's Burden, which makes your target heavier. Instead, it does the exact opposite of Feather in a saying. So if I cast it on somebody, it'll make them slower because they're carrying more stuff. It basically makes it so they can't carry as much. Feather makes it so you can carry a lot, and Burden makes it so you can't carry a lot more. So if you cast it on someone, it makes them slower, about 50% slower for about 15 seconds. And that is such an amazing thing as well, because if you're really low on health and you can cast it on them and they won't be able to catch you and you can just run away and heal yourself. So I really like that one. Under the Destruction category, we have the Bolt of Weakness, which makes it so each time you hit them, it damages their stamina by 30 points, and it's useful for preventing opponents from power attacking. And that's pretty much all it does, is it makes them so that they don't have a lot of stamina, so they can't power attack you, and so that they have to use different maneuvers, and they aren't as powerful as they would be if they didn't have that spell casted on them. There's also a Sever Magicka spell, which each hit reduces the target's magicka by 30 points. Basically, it makes it so if you're fighting a mage, they can't cast as many spells at you as if you didn't cast it on them. Now the Restoration category actually has a lot of useful spells. We have the Cure Disease and Cure Poison spells, which basically does, as the name suggests, you can cure your disease if you have one, or if you're being poisoned, you can cure the poison by casting the spell as well. And then there's a Fortify Health, which increases your health by either 25, 50, 75, or 100, depending on what your skill in Restoration is. And it basically makes it so you have whatever level more health than what you would if you didn't cast the spell. And then the Fortify Stamina does the exact same thing. You can do 25, 50, or 75 depending on what your restoration skill is, and you can cast the spell on yourself and it'll give yourself more stamina than if you didn't cast the spell. Under the Illusion category, we have Eyes of Eventide, which basically is the spell version of Night Eye, and it gives you Night Eye for 30 seconds, which means, you can cast it and you can see pretty much everything around you in the nighttime or in the dark, and you can see everything, and you won't have to use a torch or another Starlight spell or anything like that. So that one's pretty useful, and that's pretty much all the spells for Forgotten Spells. If you guys do remember playing Oblivion, if you guys are fans of Oblivion, you will remember some of them that were in Oblivion, like Feather and Burden and stuff like that. There was a lot of them that they took from Oblivion and Morrowind and just forged them into this game, and I wish it was here from the get-go. I wish we'd be able to use these spells without having the mod. I think that would be really awesome if they, Bethesda actually put them in the game, but for some reason they took them out. Who knows why? But now they are back in with the Forgotten Spells mod, so it's a very awesome mod, and I'd recommend downloading it. We have the Skyrim Unlimited mod. Now this is one of the biggest game-changing mods that I've ever covered, probably. The mod reintroduces the basic attributes of strength, endurance, agility, speed, intelligence, willpower, personality, and luck into the game, such as it was in Oblivion. These attributes were at the core of character development in Oblivion and Morrowind. Each attribute has an effect on your character's health, stamina, and magicka, along with skills and carry weight, and movement speed, which is from the speed attribute. I think this is awesome because it brings back the memories of Oblivion, where raising your speed attribute all the way would make you super fast, and then your strength would have you be able to carry so much and stuff like that, and endurance would increase it, so every time you leveled up, your health would go up super high. I believe it was 1/10 of your endurance is how much health you gained every time you level up, which was a pretty awesome system if you kept leveling up a lot and had a high endurance. And such as things as intelligence and personality, how well people like you and stuff like that. And then luck as well, obviously, is, you know, how much loot you get in a container and how much gold you find and stuff like that. So it affects pretty much everything that is in the entire game, and it's just an amazing thing. Every time you level up, I believe you get 3 attributes to spend, like it was in Oblivion, and you go under magic, and then you go under the power category, and the you know, choose attribute for that level should be there, and you can use the power, and then a screen will pop up and you can choose what attribute you want to level up, and then you'll level it up each time you level up, and then, you know, you can just become a all-around stronger character. As it says here, your Dovakiin can become much more powerful now, but beware, Skyrim has become such a much more dangerous place as well. So it ups the difficulty on a few things, but it's 100% better, and it's a very small mod. It's only 9.99 megabytes, so it's very, very small, and it changes the entire game. So it's by far one of the best mods that I've covered in a while. So I'd really recommend downloading it. We have the Old Kingdom Armor Overhaul. Now what this mod does is it changes almost every single piece of armor in the game and every suit of armor. And the description of it goes as, the Old Kingdom is a series of mods to make the world of Skyrim, the Old Kingdom, a better looking place. This section covers all the armors in the game, including Dawnguard DLC and Dragonborn DLC, and this mod contains textures and meshes from over 50 different mod authors. A lot of the armor sets look entirely new and entirely unique, and I'm going to be going through most of the armors. They're still very noticeable to tell which ones are which, you know, like you can actually tell, oh, that's ebony armor, oh, that's, you know, dragon scale armor, oh, that's Daedric. You can still tell, but it looks way different, and it actually looks way better. The Daedric armor looks amazing. That's going to make me want to keep this mod for my playthroughs, because the Daedric armor in this game looks awesome, and you can put it on your followers, you can put it on yourself, and you can look like the ultimate badass, and it would just make your character look amazing. So as you can see, as I'm going through this, they look very, very different, but you can still tell exactly what they are, and that's what I really like about this mod. They don't change it up completely, because I actually like the vanilla armor in Skyrim. I still think it looks really good, but this just makes them look even better, and they even have, you know, better quality textures on them and stuff like that. So I think it is an amazing mod in general, and it actually, you know, changes the entire game around, because, you know, everyone in the game wears armor. It would make everyone in the game look super different. So if you know, download this mod, everything is going to look super different, and it's going to feel like you're playing a brand new game. So that's what I really like about this mod, and I strongly recommend downloading it. Have the Valor, a German Shepherd follower. Now what this mod does is it changes Miko, which is a follower in the game that is a dog. It changes Miko's shack, which is below Solitude. I'm showing you guys where it is right now. It changes that to Valor, which is a German Shepherd, and it's a really awesome looking German Shepherd. I'll show you what he looks like in a second, but what you have to do is you have to come in, and as you can see, I'm going to be picking up this book on this guy's bedside table here, and I believe that's what spawns the dog and allows him to come around, because you have to actually know the backstory. Basically what the backstory is the guy was sick and he had a dog, and he was pretty much on his deathbed, and he died, and the dog actually comes back to his dead owner every night, because that's pretty much all he ever had was, you know, his owner. So he comes back to him every night and just, you know, sits by his body, which is very sad, and you can come by and you can rescue him, you can just pick him up and you can bring him with you. I had a follower at the time, and I believe you can have him as a follower as well. I think you can have, you know, a human follower along with him, so it's a pretty awesome thing to have 2 followers at once. I like that a lot. And some stats for the dog: he has like 70,000 health, so he can't die. He's pretty much invulnerable all the time, which is really good, because you wouldn't want your dog to die. That would really kill the vibe of playing the game. That would make me really sad. And then he has stamina, which is 115, which is pretty good. He can run and, you know, keep up with you. And he's at starting level 10, and he can level up to about 80 with you, which is a pretty high level. He can level up and do more damage, you know, constantly as you're leveling up. So that's really awesome. Now the only bad thing about this is, obviously, for, you know, immersive reasons, he can't really have a carry limit, so he can't carry any items for you. He can't like carry them over your back or something like that, because he's not your pack mule. He's a dog. You can't just use him to carry all your stuff. He's a dog. So, you know, you can have your other follower alongside you to do that, but the dog actually doesn't have a lot of carrying capacity, so you can't really do that. Other than that, the mod is awesome, and I really like the way that the dog looks, and I'm definitely going to be using this for a lot of my playthroughs, and I'd really recommend downloading it. We have the increased population mod. Now what this mod does is it changes the game to have more NPCs in it. Now I always really wondered why the big cities such as Solitude and even Whiterun and like Windhelm and places like that didn't have a lot of people. They just have like random NPCs here and there, and there's not really that many people in the town. And this mod actually changes that a lot. It adds a whole bunch of new NPCs into the game, and you can make some followers and you can talk to a few, and you know, a lot of them aren't really important. It doesn't really add any quests into the game to do for these NPCs, but it just makes it look a little more realistic and have more people in these cities, which I think is really cool. And like I said, some of these people that you can talk to that are in the cities that are spawned from this mod, you can actually turn into followers. So as you can see, there is a abundance of new faces in every city, and I think that is really cool about the mod because I always wondered why there weren't that many people in the cities. So it's a really cool mod in general, and I'd recommend giving it a try. We have Gray's Medieval Whiterun Overhaul. Now this mod is incredible, and it's one of the best mods that I've seen in a while. Now I'm just going to read straight off of the mod page right here. It says, so Whiterun is a major city of Skyrim, right? Why does it not look that old? There should be bigger walls, more defenses, more brick and stone, more statues, more guards and posts, more medieval everything. So why does the gate and gate path not have walls? The enemy could march to the door. Now, I always wondered this about Whiterun itself because I actually love Whiterun. As you guys know, it's one of my favorite cities, and pretty much all my top 5 mods videos, I just am in Whiterun the entire time and showcasing the mods. So it is one of my favorite cities, and I always wondered why there aren't that many defenses for Whiterun, as you know, the Civil War is going on and stuff like that. So this changes it so that Whiterun is actually a little bit more older, and it has walls, and it's like basically from the medieval times. It changes pretty much everything that I listed. It adds more statues, more guards, more defense, you know, walls, and just everything that would be in the medieval times. So as you can see, obviously a lot of time and effort was put into this mod, and it looks beautiful. Whiterun has never looked better, and it's one of my favorite Whiterun overhauls, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it. We have the Narrative Loot mod. Now the Narrative Loot mod adds 1,629 new miscellaneous items to chests, pockets, and vendors, including new paintings, new decorative books, and new types of dinnerware. All these types and items are lore friendly and blend into the game's pre-existing themes. When you open a chest, you'll have the chance to find one of these certain items by the mod. You'll be able to find new styles of pottery in a commoner's chest, or perhaps uncover a never before seen Dwemer gadget from a Dwemer dungeon. Bandit chests will sometimes contain paintings which you can sell or even hang on your wall, and skeletons will sometimes drop bones and skulls. Necromancers and other rogue mages will carry strange and obscene things, and Civil War combatants may carry valuable missives. This mod adds more variety to loot with an emphasis towards deepening storytelling through loot. There are also a lot of these items that are craftable through the smith under the miscellaneous tab. So if you guys don't want to go out and look for all the like pottery options and stuff like that, as you can see, I'm showing you all of the items that you can create for, you know, your house. It gives you more opportunities to decorate a dinner table or decorate your house in a certain way that you've never decorated it before. So I think that's really cool, and I think it's really awesome that they actually add this many items into the game that add, you know, it sticks with the lore, and it just binds you deeper to the story because there's more items from that time period and different types of things that you can sell, like being able to find paintings and bandit chests and stuff like that and sell them or hang them up in your house. I think that is amazing. I think that's a really cool idea because it just adds, like, you know, more of a motivation to go out and actually clear these bandit camps, because you'll be able to find valuable paintings that you can either store in your house or you can sell for profit. So the Narrative Loot mod is a all-around great mod, so I'd recommend giving it a try. We have the Make Junk Useful mod. Now this mod actually reminds me a lot about Fallout 4 because it has a lot of similarities. In Fallout 4, you're actually able to pick up random miscellaneous items such as pots and pans and stuff like that, and you can actually turn them into useful things for your settlements. Now there aren't any settlements in this game, but you can actually smelt down pots and pans and, you know, plates that you find around that, you know, items that wouldn't be normally useful, and you can actually smelt them down into iron bars, steel bars, and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm just going to read you guys a little bit of the description off the mod page. It says, melt pots and other objects into bars with a smelter. Both cast iron pots, lanterns, tankers, kettles, clothing irons, shovels, and flagons can be melted into steel bars, and using a smelter you can melt any empty wine bottles down into glass. You can pull straw off of useless brooms under the mist at an anvil at a forge. You can smash human and troll skulls into bone for alchemy materials and bone mold armor, and if you have a lot of dragon bones and merchants won't actually buy them all at a time, you can smash that down into a bunch of bone meal too, which is also under the miscellaneous category at a anvil or forge. If you have a deathhound collar, why even bother taking them? Now you can take them to a smelter and melt them down into rare ebony bars. Want to get rich quick? Grab a bunch of silver objects that you can find and throw them into a smelter for silver bars, then forge them into an expensive silver jewelry, and then sell them to any merchant that you find. If you can't remember what dwarven junk can actually be turned into dwarven metal bars, which is actually in the vanilla game, now most of the dwarven junk can actually be melted down, such as forks, knives, and spoons. So it just adds the ability to be able to have, a use for picking up these miscellaneous items, and that's why it comes in at our number 5 spot. I think it's really cool, and I'd recommend giving it a try. We have one of the most bizarre mods that I've ever seen. It's the Khajiit's family house. Now, this mod is very strange and a lot different than a lot of other mods, and I'm going to be showing you guys exactly why. As you can see, there are 3 new giant creatures outside. They're actually mounts. You can actually get on them and you can fly around and do whatever you want with them. I'm going to be showing you guys me riding them around and stuff like that. And they're really awesome. They're really cool looking and really scary looking as well. One's a giant wasp, and there are 2 other flying creatures as well. You can get a lot of followers at this house, and if you go into the house, there is a very strange thing that I found. If we go up to the 2nd floor and we go through this door here that is on the back of this chimney looking thing, it'll actually do this. I'm just going to play the audio and everything, and it's pretty creepy, so hope you guys enjoy this. So I was actually playing on the lowest difficulty of novice, and I died, and they killed me really quick, and it was very creepy. I had no idea what was going on, and the sounds and stuff were just really eerie and stuff like that. I thought it was really creepy, but really awesome at the same time. And the other things that are in the house as well, there are, how there are the mounts that I showed you guys, there are the books to actually summon them. This house comes with 11 Khajiits, which 9 are adults and 2 are kids, 4 mounts. There's the Cliff Racer, the Dragonling, and the Giant Wasp, along with the Leather Armored Tiger. There are 6 followers. There are owls, dolls, were-tiger, and the other tiger, and lots of other surprises along with it. And yeah, if this is not one of the most bizarre mods you've ever seen, then I don't know what is. This is definitely one of the most bizarre that I've seen, at least. It's a very awesome mod, and I recommend downloading it. Have the Mystic Elven Armor Replacer. Now this mod basically just changes the elven armor in the game to look, more, it's like more brighter, and it has more of a bluish tint and more of a silver tint as well. It's a little bit blue and a little bit silver as well, and the shield for it actually looks really amazing. I'm going to be showing you guys the shield for it. It has like a little bit of a glass structure around it, like a little bit of a ring around it filled with glass, and it's blue and it's nice and silver on it as well, and it has a nice little logo on it as well. So I think that's really awesome, and it's a really awesome armor, and I think it would be a great addition to your load order, so I'd recommend giving this one a try. Have the Lich King armor mod. Now this mod is actually really awesome, and it's basically the Lich King armor that you can just craft underneath the steel category in the forge. It doesn't take that much to craft, and it's a really awesome piece of armor, and it comes with a cape, or you can craft a version that doesn't have a cape. Both versions are actually really cool looking, and I'm going to be showcasing them, and it's definitely an armor set that you're going to want to download, because this is going to make your character look badass, and you can go around the entire Skyrim world killing people when people are going to be definitely afraid of you, because check out this armor. With or without the cape, your guy looks like a complete, he's the Lich King, it's the Lich King armor, and it's a great piece of armor, and your character will look amazing, and it's just a great mod all around, and I strongly recommend downloading it. We have the Willow Creek Cottage mod. Now it's right outside of Riverwood, you can't miss it, and it has its own fast travel location, and it is a small house with some nice goodies for the average adventurer. It's perfect for those who like to roleplay and those who want a small, cozy player home. It's very detailed and immersive, and doesn't include any over-the-top, extravagant features that you might find in some of the player home mansions on, the mod pages. It's located near Riverwood, like I said, and you can find it on the map. Its features include a full smithing station, there's a custom forge and smelter, a tanning rack, a workbench, and a grindstone. There's an alchemy station, an enchantment station, an auto sort chest. You can sort your soul gems, ingredients, potions, poison, and food. You can have a teleport map that actually takes you to pretty much anywhere on the map you'd like to go, the major cities like Whiterun, Solitude, Windhelm, Winterhold, etc. There's some custom spells, and it includes a teleport home spell and a summon chest spell in the house as well, which I think is really awesome. It comes with a study area. There is a book that will suggest undiscovered places to explore, and you can study skills that will give you a bonus, and you can only have one of the bonuses active at a time, meaning you can walk up to the book and you can study a skill and you'll get a fortify whatever the skill you chose enchantment on your character for a little bit, and it'll wear off after a while. But I think that's really awesome. And it has custom storage. There's custom foods, soul gems, potions, poisons, ingredients, and book storages. And there's also a customizable garden, meaning you can plant pretty much anything you'd like in your garden, and you can actually have a really nice garden. So walking around the house, as you can see, there is a very small, amount of room in the house, but it's a great house, so I strongly recommend downloading it. We have the auto unequip shields to back. Now the reason why I like this mod so much is because it breaks a lot of immersion in the vanilla game whenever you unequip a shield and it just disappears from your person. It's just not even on your body at all. If you have the shield equipped but you put your weapon away, your shield just vanishes, and you can hold it while you run or it'll just go away entirely. It's either one or the other, but it never actually goes onto your back. Now instead of running with the shield out, which doesn't seem like it's a very efficient way, you can actually put it on your back with this mod. Now on the mod page it says that the shield is worn on the back of players and followers, and the shield is auto-equipped when a weapon is drawn. Shields are also auto-unequipped and placed on the back when the weapon is sheathed. Auto-unequipped/equipped works for any shield like staves, and there's tons of follower support along with this, so that's why it is a great mod, and it just adds a little bit more of an immersion into the game. You'll put your shield on the back, and it actually looks really cool. It makes your character look pretty awesome as well, so I strongly recommend giving this one a try. We have the smithing oils mod. Now I find this mod to be extremely awesome and extremely useful. It adds pretty much a whole new skill tree and a whole new crafting area for, alchemy and potions and, stuff that you can add to your character. Now on the mod page it says this is a small semi-addition to smithing that adds new potions and poisons in the form of oils. These oils do all types of effects that you'd expect for potions and poisons to do with their own personal tweaks, and are crafted using mostly smithing ingredients. Some examples are health oil, which is a restorative oil that applies to wounds and it restores health every second for 10 seconds. Then there's fire oil, which is a fury oil, causes fire damage with every strike and applies to a weapon and wears off after 10 strikes. It's not like the original poison where it wears off after 1 strike. This actually wears off after 10, meaning it's way more powerful and way more better to create. There's water walking oil, which is self-explanatory. It just allows you to walk on the surface of water for 30 seconds. There's adrenaline oil, which is an oil that pulses with power, and once it's poured on the tongue, your reflexes are greatly enhanced and time is temporarily slowed, such as like that shout that is in the game. Now you may be asking, how does this work? Now for starters, this mod actually adds a new crafting station called the Oil Crafting Tools. This station is exclusively portable, and to acquire it you can craft it at any forge. How to start? You simply activate the crafting station within your inventory under the miscellaneous section, and the crafting menu will appear. From here you can craft all of the materials needed to create your oils. Typical crafting materials include an empty bottle, a bit of ore, and charcoal for the base. Now once you start out you'll just have the basic oils, but as you increase your smithing skill, more oils will unlock. These thresholds are around 25, 50, and 75 smithing skills. Most oils have up to 2 ranks to keep them useful throughout the end game, and secondary ranks also have an extra effect. Now as you can see, there is a bunch of new things to do with this mod, and there's a bunch of new alchemy and smithing ingredients that you can put into this mod to make your character even more powerful, and I strongly recommend giving this mod a try. We have a mod that I've actually been waiting for a long time. It's called H.A.S.T.E, or H-A.S.T.E, and what it does is it doesn't add anything into the game. It doesn't really change any of the, it doesn't add any, new things into the game. What it does is it changes some of the rules in the game from the vanilla version. So the crime radius is cut from 4,000 to 800. Now guards all the way from Windhelm will no longer be able to see you steal that coin purse from Camilla in Riverwood. Animals will no longer report crimes. It removes the Skyrim sidestep. It removes the stupid spinning dance people do before dying. Like, who dies like that? That's what it even says on the mod page. Who dies like that? No one does. And when you legendary a skill, it'll now be reset to 30 rather than 15. Illusion spells are now non-hostile because why would someone know if you're using illusion magic? Isn't it called illusion magic for a reason? And paralyze and mass paralysis spells have been moved to the illusion category where they always should have been, and they are also non-hostile. Something else that changes is the distance enemies can chase you or detect you has been cut from 2500 to 1250. Now there will be no more messages saying you can't do that while in combat because a mud crab saw you 2 minutes ago. Now the bounty quests are also changed and they give you real rewards for risking your life. Bandits, they'll give you 210 gold, Forsworn are 250 gold, Giants are 850 gold, and Dragons are worth 2100 gold. So there's a lot more, motivation on actually going out and killing these things and actually taking care of these areas. And torches now have a larger area of illumination because, the torches before weren't actually that good at all. The smelter levels up smithing, which I think it always should have done. The tanning rack also levels up smithing, and guards will attack hired thugs once they attack you instead of just watching you get killed. And all the NPCs will now blink, which I think is a really cool addition. I didn't know how they did that, but now all the NPCs in the game will actually blink, and NPCs will no longer randomly greet you, and they will start to chatter with each other, and enemies will still taunt. This means that whenever you're walking through Whiterun, not everyone on the street is going to be telling you their life story, because I always thought that was a little annoying, how they always thought that you wanted to talk to them, or like something like that, and they would always tell you their life story, and stuff like that, just because you walked past them. I thought that was a little absurd. Another thing that it changed is NPCs will now walk at your pace when leading you somewhere, so no more stopping and starting every time they decide to talk, and followers now have a much greater distance if you bump into them, aka they will no longer keep you trapped in a hallway or a small room, which is one of the biggest problems with followers, is whenever you walk into a room and they'll just stand in the doorway and won't move and you're just stuck there for a little bit. So I think that this mod has everything that you're going to need, and it changes everything that Skyrim needed to change in the vanilla version, so I strongly recommend downloading it. We have a very simple mod called Smithing Craftable Lockpicks. Now it does just as what it says in the title. You are now able to craft lockpicks in the smithing station using 1 iron ingot. It'll give you 10 lockpicks, which I think is very realistic, and I think should have been in the game from the get-go, because, or at least whenever you join the Thieves Guild, I think you should have been able to learn the ability to craft the lockpicks. I think that would be a really cool addition, and that's basically what this mod does, and it allows you to craft the lockpicks so you can go and sell them, or you could just use them for your own personal gain and be a thief. So that's why I like it, and that's why it comes in our number 5 spot. We have the Dovakiin Hideout. The Dovakiin Hideout is a simple basement that can be accessed via a hatch leading under every player home, linking all player homes. It's great for collecting all the items in the game in a no fast travel playthrough. Some of the features that it comes with is there's a door linking all the player homes, Hearthfire homes, the Mage Quarters, Yarvasker, and Ragged Flagon. There's an enchanting and alchemy table, a woodcutter, a smithy, a smelter, a skinning rack, and a workbench. There's 115 weapon racks, 25 shield plaques, 22 mannequins, 23 chests, 6 display cases, and 650 plus book slots. Now there is a lot of extra space in here, so this would be a great thing to use if you have a house, say in Whiterun, and you have a whole bunch of stuff decorated around your house and you want to be able to decorate more. You can use this basement to actually store more of your goods and more of your stuff that you want to just store away and not use for a while, or just store and actually put on weapon racks and stuff like that and display in a higher value. And it's all linked together, so if you have multiple player homes, you'll be able to travel from one to the other really quickly through these teleporting doors and stuff like that. So I think that is a really cool addition, and that is why it comes in at our number 4 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it. We have the VAE, or Visual Animated Enchants. Now this mod adds new animations to your enchanted weapons. As you can see, I'm showing you I have a whole bunch of different enchants on these Daedric weapons, and when I actually pull them out, you can see that there's a little bit of an effect on the weapon as well. If I have, frost, as I'm showing you right now, if I have frost on it, you'll be able to see a little bit of a blizzard around the battle axe, which I think is awesome. I think that's really cool. And it basically, for your armor too, and for your weapons, it'll give off a little bit of an effect for whatever enchant you have, and I believe it's different for almost every single enchantment, so you can have a different combination for, everything. And it really adds to the effectiveness of the weapon, because it doesn't make it more powerful, but it really makes you want to use it because of just how cool it looks. Like the fire one, fire damage weapons look amazing with this enchantment on it and this mod installed. So the way that the mod creator actually took the time to go through every single enchantment and add it to every single weapon, as well as armor, to make it, very distinct on what enchantment is on which. And it even appears for enemies too. Whenever enemies pull out their weapons, you'll be able to see what enchantments they have on theirs. I think that is a really cool addition, and I think it should have been in the game from the get-go, because that's just a really cool addition. And that is why it comes in at our number 3 spot, so I'd recommend giving this mod a try. Have the character creation overhaul. Now the character creation overhaul finally brings back birth signs, classes, specializations, and favored attributes to Skyrim. No more boring cookie cutter characters. Choice actually matters again. Whereas vanilla Skyrim only provided you with 10 options for starting characters, excluding customizing their appearance, character creation overhaul actually allows for 229,000 unique character combinations. Best of all, it's very compatible with mods that alternate the start. And it also works with new characters and existing characters alike. Now it brings back the traditional class system. All 21 classes from Morrowind and Oblivion make a comeback in Skyrim. From the charming and stealthy agent to the heavy armor wearing sorcerer, there's a class to suit every playstyle. Each class has its own specialization, favorite attribute, and major skills. Now there's also custom class creation, which you can create your own custom class and choose your own specialization, favorite attribute, and major skills. Each choice affects your character's starting skills and optionally their skill progression rates. Now, I love this mod so much because in Oblivion, I really liked how you were able to create your own custom classes. I was always be, the person who would be stealthy all the time. My sneak would be all the way up. I'd also have, alchemy and archery along with like light armor or lockpicking, stuff like that. I would always be able to choose those right off the bat, and I'd be able to have a stealthy character throughout my entire playthrough. And being able to play like that was just my favorite part of the game, and I would strongly recommend you guys download this one. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have the Beyond Skyrim Bruma mod. Now, I never thought this mod was going to come out on Xbox. I thought it was just going to be strictly PC, but it has come out for Skyrim, and you can download it, and it is really awesome. I wouldn't be able to fit the entire thing into one video because it's huge. For those of you who don't know what the Beyond Skyrim mod is, basically what it is it allows you to travel beyond the borders of Skyrim and visit Bruma, which is the northmost county in Cyrodiil. Now, Cyrodiil was the area that you played in Oblivion, so if you guys have played Oblivion, you would definitely know what Bruma is. Now, as the mod author describes on the mod page, you are allowed to, discover what has become of the city's residents since the events of Oblivion and all new adventures and storylines. You can plunge into the depths of an ancient alien ruins, explore an expansive region larger and denser than the Dragonborn DLC, and in Beyond Skyrim Bruma, the choices and their consequences are yours alone. You can rediscover Frogstag Spire, Cloud Ruler Temple, Frostfire Glade, and many other legendary locations from Oblivion. The journey back to the Heartland begins now. Are you prepared? The city of Bruma has been reimagined and recreated from scratch in exhaustive detail, containing over 70 residents, each with their own unique dialogue, stories, and routines. This is also a fully explorable county of Bruma, larger in size and scope than the Dragonborn DLC, packed to the brim with new dungeons, points of interest, and secrets, and it's been brought to life with more custom art assets than any other comparable Skyrim mod. It also comes with its own soundtrack, and it also features an all-new Cyrodiilic weapons and armor, seamless integration with the base game. You can cross the border with your existing character or start a new one, and it has innumerable all-new quests and storylines, and it has over 24,000 lines of high-quality voiceovers from professional and semi-professional cast members. So it is a pretty large mod. Now, it's almost a gigabyte for your load order, so if your load order is kind of full and you're getting close to that 5 gigabytes, I would recommend, deleting some so you can install this one, because this mod is awesome. And if you want me to actually play through this and actually do some of the quests, be sure to leave a like and let me know, because I will definitely play this and I'll go through and I'll explore everything for you guys if you want to see that, and I'll make a more in-depth video because I can't cover the entire Beyond Skyrim Bruma mod in this little video alone. So if you guys do want to see it separately, be sure to let me know in the comments. So this is an amazing mod, and I'd really recommend giving it a try. So that's pretty much it for this special episode of the top 50 Skyrim mods of the year. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I can't thank you enough for all the support that you guys have given me over these past 50 episodes. It has been awesome making all these episodes, and I can't wait to continue the series and start other Skyrim series and other game series in the future for you guys. So if you did like this and you want to see more content from me that is like this, be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.